Have you ever heard about tenderness? Well, I think I discovered the new beef rib that is going to make the old beef rib like child's play. Nothing. I think I can even go as far as to say that these beef ribs will probably feed me for a week. I think beef ribs are just the best cut to put on a barbecue. They're gonna give you lots of tasty bark. And you're not even going to need a barbecue sauce because they're just that juicy. You're also not going to need a big offset smoker to cook them. Because if you follow a couple simple steps, anyone can make beef ribs that have the holy grail tenderness status. Because I have this. It's a giant slab of ribs, and it's also known as the Jacob's ladder. And it comes from cutting away all the necessary parts from a cow, and what's left over is this beautiful piece. It's basically the cut that most butchers never use for anything, but for barbecue, it's the best thing ever. First thing that I'm gonna do is season the beef ribs. I'm gonna apply a layer of PitmasterX beef barbecue seasoning. Then I'm gonna follow it up with the PitmasterX Texas seasoning for a little bit of extra structure and extra powerful flavors. This is the Monolith Avant-Garde, and it's the ceramic grill with the best build quality on the market. I'm gonna load it up with some charcoal. I will be cooking for a long time, so I'm going to load it up with about 3/4 full of charcoal. And it's going to be plenty. That's going to be more than enough for 14 to 16 hours. And hopefully my beef ribs will be done by then. I'm going to fire it up. Put the grill grates in without the heat deflectors in the highest position. Stick my chef temp wire thermometer into the meat. Then place it on the grill grates over direct heat. Close the lid and set the bottom vent to almost all the way closed. Same thing goes for the top vent, and now I'm basically combining American style barbecue with Argentinian style barbecue. Just cooking the ribs over direct heat, but very slowly. I'm aiming for a smoking temperature of about 120 degrees Celsius. No need to add wood chunks with this setup because we're going to get plenty of smoke flavor. I'm going to smoke my beef ribs with this setup for about an hour and a half. The beef ribs are starting to look really good. I got that mahogany red smoke color that I want on my beef ribs. That actually tells me we got the smoke flavor in the beef ribs. I would now like to take it a step further and actually start cooking them, but still keep working on the bark. But remember, there's no heat deflectors in between, so if I raise up the temperature inside the monolith, more heat's going to come from below, and basically the bottom will cook faster than the top. So I got a trick to solve that. I'm taking my beef ribs and I'm going to put them on aluminum foil. Then I curl the sides up, creating a boat shape around the beef ribs. And then it goes back onto the grill grates. And then a couple of slices of beef tallow go in with the beef ribs. Now I'm protecting the beef ribs from direct radiation heat. The beef tallow will melt and it helps with the protection from the direct radiation that comes from below. So basically we can raise up the temperature and still work on a bark to make these beef ribs look good. All I need to do is open the bottom vent a little bit more and the top vent. I'm going to let the temperature go up to 150 degrees Celsius. And that hotter temperature is actually going to help render down the fat of the beef ribs even better. So I hit the core temperature of 92 degrees Celsius, but more importantly, it's probe tender. And that is what I always check for. First, you look for the temperature, and then you want to go for probe tenderness. It's just gotta fall through. And I think we're at that point where we'll almost fall apart. Of course, I don't want that, so we're going to take it out of the barbecue. And the sweet thing is that I can just leave it in my foil boat as it is right now. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of time to just let go of some of that heat. About 10 minutes will be perfect. So why not use that time to take a closer look at that bark, because it's absolutely beautiful. And that is what the foil boat method does for me. Trying to transfer it into the cooler. And normally I also like to put it in my oven and just keep it in the oven at 60 degrees Celsius. And that is what I normally do if I want to keep it overnight. But now I actually want to eat this for dinner. We have a late night dinner planned, and we've had a total smoking time in the foil boat for about 5 hours, so it was a total of 6.5 hours. With another 2 hours of resting, we come down to 8.5 hours, which is actually not that bad. And now you can see how the high temperature works two ways. It helps to raise the temperature in the beef ribs up faster, and it helps to break down the fat even better. And of course, you got a better looking bark. All right, it's time. Yeah. Temperature are a little lower now, can actually touch it, which is nice. You want to serve your beef ribs at about 65 degrees Celsius because that is the temperature that is enjoyable to eat. It's pleasant, you don't burn your mouth, and you don't lose all that heat and moisture to the air evaporating. Okay, there's a time for talking and there is a time for action. Let's slice into this. I'm just gonna go dead center. There is no better way than to go into it dead center. Well, there we have it, the beef ribs. Juicy, tender, beautiful smoke ring. Ooh. All right, let's just do that taste test. It looks absolutely fantastic, but does it taste good? Because that is the most important thing. That is one tasty beef rib. Yes, I know, it always starts with good quality beef and therefore it tastes good. So yeah, the quality of the beef is the main factor of why this is so good. But that bark with this method on a ceramic barbecue, it just gives me the best flavor profile you can get on beef ribs. You get the bark, which you otherwise, if you wrap it up, you don't get it that much on a ceramic barbecue because it's so efficient that it has a very low amount of airflow. So you're not building up that much mark. So the time that you're exposed to it is going to really help set the bark. So and the second thing is like, it's just juicy and tender. Letting it rest is like the game changer. And then the longer you let it rest, the more game changery it becomes. But okay, for now, for today, I'm settled for this beef ribs. I could have rested them for 10 hours, but this is already so good. I'm happy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then leave us a big thumbs up. If you're wondering what a dog is, the dog's inside with the AC. Can you believe that? Well, thank you for watching. See you guys next time. Until then, eet smakelijk and keep on grilling. Yeah. And eating beef ribs. We're eating beef ribs.